63. The question is asking on, we are on CCNA for beginners. CCNA for beginners. The question on 63 it says, what type of VLAN is initially the management VLAN? What type of VLAN is initially the management of VLAN? All right, we have four options here. Okay, we will cover each option and explain each options. All right, for those who attend or joined later. Even like management VLAN, we already covered it, but if there's some people came later, we will try to just go quickly on it. So let's understand what the question is asking about. All right. All right. The question says, what type of VLAN is initially the management VLAN? In simple form, or in simply, when you unbox Cisco switch for the first time, when you purchase a Cisco switch, or your company purchase a Cisco switch for the first time, it already has some VLAN created by default inside that switch. Okay, for example, VLAN 1, and also there are VLANs, right? It's from 1002 to 1005 and etc. So what does that question mean? The question is asking, before you create your own management VLAN like VLAN 99 or VLAN 10 and so on, which VLAN is by default used for management access such as Telnet or SSH? So we are looking for the VLAN that is used by default for switch management when no configuration change has been made yet. So it means I bought a new switch. What VLAN are there? Okay, so this question is asking that what type of VLAN is initially the management VLAN. Okay, all right, let's go for option one. The option one, it says default VLAN. All right, and we know that the default VLAN on Cisco switch is VLAN 1. Okay, it exists automatically and cannot be deleted or renamed even. So all switch port are assigned to VLAN 1 by default. All switch port are assigned to VLAN 1 by default. It carries the control traffic like CDP, VTP, STP messages. It also the default management VLAN until you changed it or until you change it. Also, you can later on create a different VLAN. Okay, right? You can create your own VLAN 99, for example, or 10, and assign a management interface. You can assign a management interface, okay, to your own VLAN for a better security. So that's the default VLAN. Okay, it means that, okay, so the default VLAN in a quick summary is just the number of default VLAN on Cisco switches. All right, it usually can have a VLAN 1. All right, that's the default, so we cannot change it. So I think that's very simple for VLAN 1. I mean for default VLAN, and that's the correct answer. So the initial VLAN that comes with the Cisco or with the equipment is just the default VLAN. All right. All right, let's move to second option, native VLAN. Okay, many people confuse of native VLAN. So what is native VLAN? Native VLAN, right? It's the concept of native VLAN is the VLAN that carries untagged frames across a trunk link. The native VLAN, it carries the untagged frames across a trunk link. So this actually is something related to the router on a stick. So it's not related to the initial of the management. Okay, it means that when there are two switches connected by a trunk, or switch and router connected by trunk, all right, they are using 802.1q encapsulation. The most VLANs send frames with VLAN tags like VLAN 10, 20, 30, whatever you just name it. But the native VLAN traffic is not tagged. It's sent without VLAN ID. So that's the native VLAN is not tagged and it's sent without the IP. Now we will move to option number 3. Okay, we will move to option 3 and let's understand the data or the data VLAN. What is the data VLAN? All right, we covered default VLAN, option this one. We covered also the native VLAN. All right, for those who doesn't understand them, I will upload my videos on other platforms later on. You can just go and review it over there. And the third VLAN or the third option, it says the data VLAN. The data VLAN sometimes, or some people, or some um, users, sometimes they call it user VLAN. Some methodologies or some companies, or if you talk if you are in the meetings, for example, and you hear people talking about data VLAN or user VLAN, they are talking about the same thing. All right, unless they say voice VLAN or native VLAN. But if they say user VLAN, it means data or data VLAN. Okay, so it is sometimes called the user VLAN, and it's the VLAN used to carry the normal user traffic, like PC, printers, servers on the same network. Okay, so if you are using your VC and you want to send the traffic to, I don't know, you want to access, for example, whatever different websites, you are supposed to be within the data VLANs. Okay, your traffic goes through the data VLAN. So data VLAN is separate user data traffic from other types. All right, what are those types? For example, it separates your traffic from the management VLAN administrations, from the voice VLAN IP phones, and from the native VLAN, the untagged control on trunk links. So it's a very important point here I would like to raise for the data VLAN. You can have multiple data VLAN. For example, VLAN 10 for HR, VLAN 20 for finance, and VLAN 30 for marketing. All right. So this is important. You can have this multiple data VLAN. You can. All right. So each VLAN, but each VLAN, it's like a separate broadcast domain. The each VLAN, it's a separate broadcast domain. All right. Devices in different data VLAN, what do they need? Devices on different data VLAN need a layer 3 device. The layer 3 device, everybody knows, it's just a router or layer 3 switch. It's not the regular switch. So each VLAN, all right, each different data VLAN, they need a layer 3 device such as router or layer 3 switch to communicate between each other. So if VLAN 1 want to talk to VLAN 2, if a router, if a guy in HR want to talk to a guy in a printer, for example, he want to print something on VLAN 20 on finance department, okay? His traffic has to go through a router, but not the switch, because they have two different VLANs, right? All right, so we covered the data VLAN. I hope it's clear. Um, Let me ask a quick quiz here for the management. It's just yes or no. If somebody have the answer, you can answer it right away, or he can drop me a message to see his answer. All right. The question is asking, can can a data VLAN can a data VLAN carry management or voice traffic? All right. Can a data VLAN carry management or voice traffic?